Welcome back, everyone, to episode 78 of the Three Dudes Podcast. I was almost going to say the title, but we say the name of the podcast first in case someone accidentally got here. And if you did accidentally get here, I'm Easton, one of your hosts. Liam Owens to my left, Broden Wunderlich to my lefter. And we're the ones that are talking on the podcast, so it's going to be exciting. You get to hear our voices for the next hour and some change. Liam, I'd like to throw it over to you first because you've got a great story for us. You texted before the podcast. You said this is going to be great for the pod. What do you got for us?
Yeah, I'm a homeowner, in case you didn't know. This is your first time listening. I am working my way towards owning the house. Right now I have a loan for it, but it was almost not a house anymore. It was almost ashes due to my good friend and roommate, Broden, to my left here.
Business partner, co-host.
Yeah.
So you texted that Broden almost burned down the property. Was that today, this morning?
That was today, this morning.
A few hours ago.
Yeah. I made a nice spread for us for breakfast. I have a nice cast iron skillet I made it in, and a skillet owner would know that it should be cleaned out every so often. You wash it, don't have to wash it, hit it with some water, hit it with some oil, heat it up again. It basically re-seasons the pan. And so in the midst of Broden doing that, while I got ready for the day, he fired up the igniter on the stovetop, let the oil set in there, and then cut the flame and placed our cloth skillet handle directly onto the pan. And when I came out of my room about 10 minutes later, Broden was gone and the kitchen was full of smoke. And I said, weird. It's usually not like that.
My kitchen's usually smoke free.
Yeah. I prefer to keep it that way.
Yeah.
And I looked at the burners. Burners were off. And then I looked at the skillet, and the skillet handle cover was smoldering.
Where did you go, Broden?
Away. Because the place was about to burn down.
Yeah.
He was hoping I wouldn't catch it.
Yeah. He's like, he got to me before I could pour kerosene all over the floor. But
Yeah, I tried shoving a hand grenade in there, and it didn't really work.
So
you stopped it?
I promptly took the
What a hero.
cover off and
running
I covered
into the
it in
smoke
water.
like that.
You're like a first responder.
Dude, you're like as good as the people on
9/11. I rank up there
Have I mentioned
with the likes of first responders?
Have I mentioned the joke about someone saying the last responders have just gotten to 9/11?
Just now?
Yeah,
today?
Instead of the first
Cool.
responders. I saw that the other day and I was laughing. But yeah, it's good. It's always risky. I'm one of those guys that always forgets to turn off the oven, which I don't know if that's going to do anything if the oven just goes. It definitely adds some chances.
You're heightening your probability.
Yeah.
I mean, you imagine if you're cooking something, you leave the oven on for 4 hours. So if you leave the house for an hour and you accidentally leave it on, is it really causing a problem? But I think the problem is more that you're not there to stop it.
Not there to stop it, yeah. Because I wonder what would have happened if you weren't there to stop the smoldering handle.
I imagine it would have caught on fire.
Led to eviction
yeah.
for Broden.
And me, because I would no longer have a house. I have a heated garage. We could stay in my garage
Yeah.
on the floor because our beds would be burned. All of our clothes.
Yeah. So you have to get some sponsor, Purple Mattress or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
House burned down if you want to throw us a mattress.
It'd be fun.
It wouldn't be fun. No, it wouldn't.
No. Sometimes it'd feel like a sleepover every night though. You know, like when you used to go to your buddy's house and throw the mattress on the floor.
You'd bring your
Or you'd all-
mattress over to your buddy's house?
No, I wouldn't. But can you imagine you did?
That'd be 9th grade.
Yeah.
Come over.
Yeah, I'm bringing my mattress queen. Rented a U-Haul for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a wee haul now. You gotta help me.
I said 9th grade. I think that's kind of weaning out of sleeping over at your buddy's house. But
Yeah. Like when did he's like, 11th grade was my last one, I think.
that, I don't know. That was kind of prime time. High school, we'd all go over to Connor's house, run FIFA. Oh, shit. I don't know my phone. I got to text Connor happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Connor.
Yeah, it is Connor's birthday. Happy birthday, Connor.
But that was about, prime time. I think junior year and below, and probably 4th grade and up.
Yeah. I remember I was scared to sleep over at people's house for the longest time.
I remember that too.
Yeah. Couldn't do it.
You'd be at my house. It'd be like midnight. And you'd be like, I got to call my mom.
I'm like,
Serious?
Yeah. I'd be like, I'm going to shit my pants right now so I can leave or something.
Just didn't jive with you or what?
Couldn't do it. Too scared.
Of what?
The unknown, I think. what Broden might do to me when I'm sleeping.
See, that's questionable.
Yeah.
Because I think Broden's doing something to me while I'm sleeping.
Oh yeah.
So
My first couple full
You don't have any proof.
I know. I'm going to set up a trail camera in my room.
my first couple full night sleepovers where I stayed the whole night. Don't think I went to sleep. I just stayed up the whole night. Just did stuff while everybody else slept.
Like clean the bathroom or?
Went on the computer. I know when I stayed at my cousin's for the first time, he had a computer with like cool math games or whatever it was. I'm like, cool, I'm going to play this until 8 a.m. until everybody's awake. And I did. And then I finally, hit one of those sleepovers where I thought I could pull my all night trick and fell asleep. I'm like, this isn't so bad.
Breaking moment for you.
Yeah. Here we are. Haven't had one in quite some time.
Sleepover?
Yeah.
What are you doing this weekend?
Sounds like I'm sleeping over.
I got to
spend a night bag.
Yeah, and mattress.
Make sure you lock your door.
Mattress. I'll bring the king size. Yeah, is Broden gonna be there?
Sadly.
Yeah. All right, let's get into some comments this week. I know we mentioned the comments last week. It's 3 little segments we got here. The Mandela effect. Broden, as one of the clips we posted was you describing the Mandela effect, and we got some feedback on it. Skillless Gaming says, oh, wow, this is the first time I've heard of it as described as testing erasing history, and it makes perfect sense.
Oh, wow.
About how they're trying to erase history and see what they can get away with. So I was proud of that comment because that means we're spreading some thought processes,
That's
We're getting people to think.
I was honestly waiting for the one where they say, you guys are all the stupidest people I've ever met and you're not funny.
how they always go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just skipped past those once. It's like, of course, keep going, obviously.
This might be now, 78 episodes in, that we have a positive comment.
Yeah.
Like, hey, you taught me something.
Yeah, Luis Ongpin. I'm still out to get that.
Yeah,
one.
he's real quiet now, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's like, I can't even see these comments. GenX404 says, I can attest to this. I literally have old Fruit of the Loom stuff with the cornucopia on it. See, I don't know if I was a Fruit of the Loom guy.
I got Fruit of the Loom for my sleep underwear. I wear the same pair of underwear to bed every night.
Really?
I alternate between 2 pairs. When one goes into the wash, then I wear the other ones. Yeah, they're like, because I don't like wearing boxer briefs out in public.
Is this like current? Is this a current thing you have?
Right now, they're on the edge of my bed right now.
Really?
Yeah.
Folded or just?
Yeah. I mean, half folded.
So you wake up in the morning, take them off, put them on your bed.
Then they're ready.
So there's always a pair of underwear on your bed, like a sock on Monsters Inc.
Pretty much
stuck to the leg.
Yeah.
What is that? A 2319? Is that what they call it?
That's right.
Yeah.
When did you start doing that?
Probably about, I don't know, 5 or 6 years ago.
Oh, so this wasn't something you learned in childhood?
No, I don't think so. I think I got to a point to where I didn't want to wear like compression underwear to bed. I would rather have boxer briefs so I'm covered, but it's loose fitting. But I wouldn't wear them out in public because when I'm walking around, they chafe. I don't like the way they ride.
Yeah.
So they're just
the way they ride.
They don't.
I don't like the feel.
Yeah, they're just. I've made them sleep underwear, and these things have been through world wars.
Yeah, I don't know
these
if
are battle worn, tattered.
You wear briefs or boxers?
Boxer briefs.
Briefs are tight. Boxers are loose.
Now put those together.
Boxer briefs
Boxer
are
briefs.
tight. Briefs is short for boxer.
I don't know. You're
Nathan?
24, 25 years old if you've ever gone through an underwear aisle before, but that is a category of boxers is boxer briefs, or category of underwear.
Yeah.
Boxer briefs.
I think they're just like regular tight, not like super tight, like it's not squeezing the package.
Yeah.
But squeezing the legs.
Like boxers are very, very baggy.
Boxer briefs.
Yeah.
Why does that
are
one
tight?
Why top right? What is that?
Oh,
what is that? Order me a pair of those right now.
It's got a trunk on it.
It's got
a. Did you see it?
No. Built in. Oh yeah.
Someone
who got like a tube. Do you know?
Whoever's wearing those, good for you.
Yeah. It's like
I just feel like that'd be a lot of extra.
That's I'd probably have to
so much.
You know how girls take the edge of the t-shirt and tie it in a knot? I would have to do that with those.
Roll it up.
Yeah.
Just have a little cuff, a cuff link,
fold it over.
Oh
God. What is your underwear routine for when you decide to change them, Broden?
He doesn't.
Yeah, usually just one pair for sleeping and one pair for work, and then at the end of the week they get washed.
You have 2 pairs of underwear? Is
No.
that real?
One pair?
No way.
One pair.
No,
No way. This is a real
Stay
thing.
folded on the edge of the bed.
Yeah. Like, what
Big
is
day.
wrong with you guys? What's going on in this house? I wish it would have burned down.
It would not be a loss if those underwear burned up, dude. They're already like
Half burned up.
One of them, yeah, just massive hole in the ass cheeks. Like they're
Dude,
rough
underwear
looking.
are cheap.
But they're just, you sacrifice the memories.
wait
Like,
till you hear this. Liam, what do you do to your underwear so they can last 25 years?
hang dry.
He doesn't dry anything with elastic in it.
You hang dry your underwear?
Yeah, I got a drying rack in the laundry room, and so anything with mostly underwear.
Yeah.
So like I hang dry like my work pants because they're a little bit stretchy. I don't want them to shrink and wear out. So I hang those up, like all my underwear.
I have so many items that are
those.
supposed to be hung dry, but I don't, just for ease of not having to hang dry something. So your sweatpants have an elastic strap at the bottom. Do you hang dry those?
I don't.
Okay.
But that's like, it really probably doesn't even make a difference because I dry all my clothes on low heat for a longer time anyway. So they're
Yeah.
not even getting like burned up. So it really
It's
probably wouldn't
interesting.
even matter. But yeah, all the underwear, boom. Like my welding caps that I wear for work underneath my hard hat, hang those up.
So interesting how you just assume there's a standard procedure that's like everybody does this. And then you get to talking to people and everyone does, everyone has sleep underwear or someone does.
Yeah.
And then some people hang dry their underwear. It's very interesting. So what do you do, bro? Do you shower at night, put those underwear on, wear them the next day? That's what I do.
No.
You wear do you wear the underwear that you slept in the next day?
I think. Like if I shower the
What
night.
do you think? What do you mean you think?
So usually I don't shower at night and in the morning.
No, I don't.
No. Shower.
So
at
if I
night.
shower at night,
Yeah.
I'll put clean underwear on. And then I don't shower in the morning. I just wear those. But if I shower in the morning, obviously I put a new pair on after the shower.
I mean, I think it works. I have 2 pairs of, like, what do you want to call them? Like long spandex
Yeah.
that I wear underneath my work pants.
But you'd never wear them to bed.
No.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I guess like what I wear daily is like compression, like beneath. I'm wearing
To keep
beneath
everything
underwear
in
right
order.
now. Yeah, but like I don't want to wear those to bed because it's rumored compression underwear will give you good
Nut cancer.
testicular torsion.
I thought it was the
Tomato.
other. I thought you weren't supposed to wear loose or sleep naked because that's how your testicles get all twisted up.
This is crazy talk on the podcast. I think we can move on from the underwear talk.
All right.
After we got there, I'm like, I think we're good.
Leave a comment.
But yeah.
What do you do?
Yeah, I'd be curious what some people do. Okay, a lady did this with Snow White. I think it had something to do with the mirror. She ended up finding an old book with what she remembered. So I think there's a lot of this stuff going around where we're being fooled Mandela effect wise.
Did what with the mirror?
The movie Snow White or the book or whatever it was had something to do with a mirror. So there must have been a mirror in the show.
mirror
or,
on the wall. Or is that Sleeping Beauty?
That's Wicked, the Witch.
No, that's the Bloody Mary.
What?
One of them.
Didn't she used to go into a dark bathroom and like look into the mirror and then say,
I did that back in grade school.
yeah,
Turn
You're
all
supposed to
turn
say
all the lights
Bloody
off.
Mary, Bloody Mary. It'd say it like 6 times, 3. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
and then you turn around and someone's holding a Bloody Mary drink for you.
There you go.
You're like
Little bar
6.
trick.
Hey,
Yeah.
you gonna take your drink, pal?
Yeah. It's like, oh, you scared me.
I'm in 4th grade.
Yeah.
Where'd you come from? It's the janitor. Mixing up Bloody Marys with the toilet water.
Government, $1 trillion of debt that we have that I was saying, how is my portion $434,000? Sue the government for fraud, borrowing money on your behalf from Edward Lewis. Wonder if you can actually sue the government.
I don't think that'd blow over super well. I would imagine the government would have good attorneys.
Yeah, I'm not saying you'd win, but can I legally, like tomorrow, go file a lawsuit against the government?
Just like the government in general, or
Yeah.
or
Easton Bennett versus the government.
Government.
The board versus the government.
They'd have a tough time beating us. I think.
I think they would.
I think we should all just be our own attorneys. We'll
Like, What did that precedent come from? We learned it in criminal justice class. Clarence Gooding. Clarence. God, what is it?
Clarence parents
Goody job.
have real good marriage.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. I'm just seeing this now. I can't make it. Nathan's not showing up to the show. Obviously, we've already started Nathan. This would be great if we had Nathan to look into this.
Well,
So I didn't have to. Clarence, precedent for being own lawyer. There's a movie about it. Clarence Gideon. Gideon versus Wainwright. You remember that?
okay, yeah, that sounds familiar.
Yeah, Gideon versus Wainwright. So this is when they started implementing if the whole Miranda rights, if you can't afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't used to have that. And Clarence Gideon had to defend himself in court, and he's obviously not a lawyer, so he lost horribly. And that's when they implemented, we have to give these people lawyers because, and I think he was an innocent man. Can't remember. There's a movie about it. I think it's called Gideon. And then they gave him a lawyer and he won. Spoiler alert. Something like that.
Did you move that heater away from the door before you shut it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Pointed it outwards. Were you a little worried?
A little bit. I'm on
Burn a
fire
hole.
watch today now. So
Yeah.
I'm on fire.
Burn a
Making
hole
sure.
into the door.
Yeah, we're going to find out in an hour.
Yeah. The government is paying interest on that deficit using tax dollars. It's absolutely your share. But I don't look at it that way. You know, if I got a bill every month, then I'd be like, this
This has to end.
$34 trillion of debt is definitely my share. They keep billing me. But for now, I don't care.
They just keep taxing you on everything that you
Yeah.
buy, and when you make money,
It's like
they
girl
tax it.
math, though. You know, you don't really know where the taxes is exactly going, so it doesn't count. If you keep it more vague,
That's why they do it.
what's that? It's a tax. What are you going to use it for? They're like, so much stuff.
We're going to send it all to Ukraine.
Yeah.
Great.
And then we'll skip the Bernie Madoff ones. We're already getting deep into this episode. Let's get into this week's topic. Billionaires. Saw a TikTok this morning talking about billionaires. I was like, that'd be a good topic. It'd be a good episode. We are not trying a new format. I don't know if it's a new format, but a new notes format potentially, where we don't want to, and we'll see how it goes. If we get bad backlash that you guys don't like it, we'll go back to the old one. But we didn't want it to be as much of an audio book where we're just reading facts and stories. And more so, we'll come up with some prompts and then see where it takes us. See what happens. Did I explain that well enough?
Yeah, you're going to
I
have to
think-
send me the prompt next week because I only write stories and facts.
Yeah. I think you just need to have critical thinking when you're doing your notes.
You need to try.
Yeah, you just think like, what am I
Oh.
curious about now? Because that's why I was wondering, like, how am I going to do the notes this week?
Yeah.
And I typed in some prompts. It gave me some. And then I wanted more information on certain areas. And I'll even send you this note sheet. You can kind of look what I wrote. But
Yeah.
and I'm like, oh, it'd be interesting to know this. Oh, that leads into this. And it's just, you know, it's nice. It's like the garden hose. Put one little kink in it, the flow stops. Who was I explaining that to? I think I was explaining that at the bar the other day.
The garden hose effect.
Yeah, something. I don't know. It's pretty entangled. All right. So let's talk about some billionaires. How many billionaires do you think there are in the world?
1,000.
Billionaires, I'm going to say more than that. I'm going to say 2,000.
It's just over 2,600. I want to say it's 2,683 or something like that, which is way more than I thought it was.
Yeah. That's a lot of money to have.
Yeah.
That's a lot of people that
And that
have
many
that
people
much money.
have that much monies.
That many monies. Yeah.
It means there's a lot of money circulating. How many of them did it by legal means?
That's a good question.
16 of them?
Yeah, I didn't look that up. What do you mean by legal means? Do you mean like ethical or unethical ways, or do you mean like straight up drug dealers?
Yeah, like
El
not
Chapo?
organized crime. Like, yeah.
Yeah. So you
And
mean
then that's how they got their start. And then they used their dirty money to have a.
so how many got to be billionaires through organized crime? That's the question.
Yeah.
Probably a lot.
Yeah. I wouldn't say a ton, but I'd say it's over 100.
I mean, you think about Al Capone, the Yakuza, stuff like that.
Those two I really think about.
Lot
Al
of,
Capone and the Yakuza, I'm like, yeah. Some bad
I
boys.
don't know who else you'd lump. El Chapo.
Yep.
That's we have 3.
Bezos.
Yeah,
Gates.
was that illegal?
Musk.
No. Amazon?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
No.
I was listening to the illegal ones.
Yeah, I know. It would be funny if it was. You throw them in there. So yeah, 2,600. 630 of them are American. Which,
That's like a decent chunk.
in my head, I really just totally discounted every other country on Earth. Where I was like, oh,
There's got to be a lot
right?
in like the Middle East.
Well, and that's where the Middle East, we don't even know about any of them. They just call them all the royal family.
Like the sultans and whatever they call them.
The royal family.
Well, like they
Like
call them
the
like
princes.
Middle Eastern royalty.
Okay.
Not the royal family like British.
Yeah.
If they had that
that's
much
what
money, they could fix their teeth.
Yeah.
Like they're fraud billionaires.
Frauds.
But yeah, there is some ton of Saudi billionaires for some reason.
Yeah.
What do they do? Oil?
It's got to be mostly oil. There's a lot over there.
Tons.
And they just own that land, or they own the
They own the
companies that are
companies that are,
taking the oil out of the ground?
yeah. And now countries are just buying a shit pot of oil. So they just go with the price.
So a bunch of most of our oil in the U.S. come from Saudi Arabia or the Middle East?
It shouldn't, but I think a lot of it does.
Because we have what do we do with ours?
Good question, man.
Does it stay here?
Barrel it up and sell it?
Yeah.
Do we sell it like local though? Do we do like a shop local campaign
Probably not.
for
Should.
oil? Yeah. Lightning Lube's buying it.
Yeah.
Honda. Ryan GMC. Yeah. I've always wondered that. It's like we don't know. I don't even name one Saudi billionaire.
I can't even name a Saudi. Let alone the billionaires.
Let alone one that has a lot of money. That's true. I don't know if I could either. Maybe you can name this person the first billionaire.
The first.
First billionaire ever. You want a hint on what year it was?
I'd love a hint.
Yeah.
It was in 1916.
The Rockefellers.
1916.
John D. Rockefeller. Yep.
You are nuts.
Yeah.
I was going to say them or the Vanderbilts, but
Who are the Vanderbilts?
it's just like a long line of a family that's just been super rich.
American?
Yeah.
Isn't the Rockefellers, don't they say like they're bad?
I don't know. I just thought I forget what they even did for business way back then. Maybe it was oil.
It was oil. He's an oil magnate and a philanthropist, which that's a
Broad term.
that's a joke title in it of its own. I always struggle saying that. In it of its own. Because a philanthropist, that just means like you just don't you just like
Talk.
what's the word?
Philanthropy. It's like
Speculate. Don't you just speculate? You sit around and be like, well, what if?
I reckon.
Yeah.
Or is that philosopher? Or do those go hand in hand?
No.
I feel like they have philanthropy. What does philanthropy mean?
I guess I'll be a little Nathan action here.
Nathan Jr. There's a philanthropist. I feel like maybe they're trying to do good things in a certain area.
A person who seeks to promote the welfare of others, especially by the generous donation of money to good causes. That's philanthropist.
Oh, so really they're doing good things. It's almost like a glorified charity worker.
Yeah, just a really rich charity guy.
Yeah, that makes sense.
How does that work now, though, where like when you donate a large sum to a charity, it's like a tax write-off kind of thing?
That's why they do it.
So,
Yeah, 100%
so
why they do that.
it benefits them as well, is it?
It does. I think I was reading when I was doing these notes, Jeff Bezos donated $100 million to Pencils for Promise or something like that, a charity like that, and he makes $215 million a day.
Yeah. How about he donates to the charity of all of us?
The board?
Well, everyone
Yeah.
else, because I don't use a lot of pencils,
Yeah.
but I
don't know if that's what Pencils for Promise
I'm in debt.
revolves around. They should, though.
It's a crooked organization, and he owns like half of it, so he's really just giving the money back to himself.
Well, it's like the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. So Bill Gates gives money to his own charity
Yeah.
that he then does what with? Buys up a bunch of land in North Dakota and the Midwest.
Yeah, forces you to get a COVID shot.
I think Bill Gates donated like $589 million to some sort of charity. Actually, I think it was his own, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. And then they were talking about neo-colonialism, which basically means that you're buying areas. A super rich person is buying an area. Let's say it's an island or something, where you can now kind of control that area, even though you have no political power. I'm like, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So like if Bill Gates buys all of the land in North Dakota, okay, he's got a lot more power over what happens in North Dakota now.
Yeah.
Which is not a good thing.
You prefer that didn't happen.
Yeah. It's like when we bought the Louisiana Purchase.
And then we
That
did
was a lot of land.
Yeah.
And then we got power over that land because it was ours.
Yeah. Took it from some people.
The French.
Yeah.
Oh, well, whatever then. Better in our hands.
Yeah.
I mean,
got a
we're
better
here.
grasp.
Yeah.
They're over there.
Yeah. What are they going to do? Mail a letter and say, hey, make sure you're planting this corn over here.
But yeah, Rockefeller, 1916 was the first billionaire. What do you think it'd be like being the first billionaire? Like, it's got to be like, you're like, damn, I did it. I was the first guy to get here.
I'd walk into the room and start passing out $100 bills.
$1 billion in 1913. Is that what you
16.
said? 16. That'd be like $1 trillion today. That's an insane amount of money.
Yeah.
I wonder what the conversion is, bro. Maybe you should do that. $1 billion in 1900 to today. Or what was $1 billion 100 years ago worth? Yeah, that'd be correct. I wonder how much billionaires walk around. Because obviously you said I'd walk in with $100 cash, right? And just start handing out Benjamins. What is the average rich person walking around with cash? Because I know Taylor Swift, when she went to all these games with the Chiefs, she was handing out $100 bills to the security workers, to the people working in her suite, all these different things. She was just handing out hundreds. How much does the average rich person carry around in cash on them?
On average, that's a great question. If I was a rich person, I would be walking around with probably at least 2,000 to 5,000 in me pockets.
Yeah.
It says $1 billion in 1916 is worth about 30 million today, or 30 billion. Sorry.
I was gonna say, how did we lose money there? Reverse inflation.
Not worth it.
Yeah. 30 billion. Okay. Yeah. So 30 times your money. It's a lot. So you'd go about 2 to 5K. That's kind of the range I was in.
Yeah. Anything more, it's
I'll probably
a
be
lot in your
30 to
pockets.
50K, I'd say.
In your pockets?
Yeah.
That's
I'd
a lot.
drag a bag around with money.
Well,
Everywhere I went.
yeah, but then you'd have to carry a bag around everywhere.
I'd have a guy for it.
I guess, yeah.
That's my bag guy.
But I mean,
The cash man, I call him.
yeah, but then you got to hang out with them all day. Like,
Yeah. I make him dress as a dollar
So you
bill
just
in a dollar
hire
bill
your
costume.
buddy. If I became a billionaire, I just hire you guys, pay you like $100,000 a day to just carry my cash for me.
The
How
cash
cool would that
carriers.
be?
They'd be like
be
pall
cool until I got
bearers.
shot.
Hey, we'd have to carry around his
No,
case
I'd give
of
you a
cash
gun.
like a pallbearer.
Yeah.
We get guns with it.
Yeah, I give you guys a gun. Maybe
You'd
not
give
you.
me a gun.
Yeah. We'd give you a lot of armor.
Yeah. A wooden gun. You'd be the front
Rubber
man.
band gun.
I'd take a rubber band gun. I used to love those things.
Oh,
I used to remember the growing up in elementary school, and you'd have the rubber band in the Hornets. You'd fold
yeah.
paper up
oh,
until you couldn't fold it anymore. Just hit people with it, which is a bad, like, looking back on that, not great to be doing. Those
Yeah.
hurt.
Those hurt a lot. And then,
could have been
You'd
doing drugs.
yeah, I'd have one of those rubber bands that were like this big around.
Yep.
I'd wind it all the way back to here.
Yep.
So you're done for, pal.
Dude,
You
remember
put
when
it
we took-
across an intersection, so on street pole to street pole.
when we took, so there's these rubber, maybe we already said this on the podcast. We used to launch pliers down the
Yeah.
outside of Menards.
But it
Pliers?
was,
Pli-
yeah, there was this giant rubber band. I can't even remember what it was.
It used
where
to be
it came
wrapped
from.
around the drywall, like the long drywall on the very ends, so they wouldn't flop around those sheets.
Yeah. And we took 2 of those, like tied them together somehow, and then parked the forklifts like 20 feet away from each other and got them around the forklifts. And we took a pair of pliers and we
Like
just
needle nose.
Yeah.
took them and like walked back as far as we could and just shot them all the way down.
Like 500 feet, dude.
Yeah, we would launch these. If anyone walked in front of them when we did that, they would have been dead.
It's almost like, dude, you guys could start a podcast called like Menards, man, with the stories that you guys have at that place.
Oh, dude. If
We would do things that nobody should do while
Did you
getting
ever
paid.
actually have to work?
sometimes.
When our one buddy was there, we would work. But if he wasn't there, we weren't working.
Yeah.
Because he was really good at working, but we weren't. So
Good
we
at
would
work.
help him because we didn't want him to do all the work by himself.
Yeah, you kind of felt bad a little bit.
Right. But then when he wasn't there, we'd just be like, we could work, or we could just wait for him to come and then we'll all get it done together.
It's better with 3 people instead of
Yeah.
2.
Well, and then we had Connor working there too.
Yeah. That was quite the squad.
Me, Liam,
guys,
and
like,
Connor and Menards.
Cool runnings of corporate jobs.
John Menard is shaking his fist listening to us right now.
John Menard.
He
He's-
drove a truck through one of his stores. He's fine.
He's
John Menard?
he's not fine.
On purpose or a
Probably senile.
PR thing?
On purpose. Store didn't open in time. He was visiting it for the day, and the guy, like the main manager of the store, was late, so the doors weren't open at like 8:05, and
Yeah.
he just drove his truck through the front glass doors, and now he's not allowed to be at any of his own stores
Really?
legally. Yeah.
That's How do you ban him from being at his own stores?
Does the guy
because there's
own
like
all
a-
of these?
He's like the CEO, right? But there's a board,
Yeah.
so
Which
he
is the
owns
bo-
it.
Yeah, the board's boss. Or
Like
the,
our- like
the
our
CEO's
government, I
boss
guess,
is the
yeah.
board. Yeah.
But they can vote to.
But what's the
Ban him.
what's the government board?
Legislature.
Yeah, like the Senate
I suppose. And yeah. We do an episode.
or the
Government.
Supreme Court, I guess.
Yeah.
You know, checks and balances. Senate
Mhm.
gets out of control. The president, smack on the wrist.
Everyone just smacks each other.
Yeah.
Knock
Hey,
it off.
Yeah.
Jeff Bezos, I mentioned that $215 million a day he makes.
Yeah.
It's pretty crazy. Many billionaires like Warren Buffett are known for their surprisingly frugal lifestyles. He lives in his home he purchased in 1958 for $31,000. He still lives in it.
See, why do you need more?
He's
Like
figured it out.
Bezos, he makes this much in a day. Why can't one day he just say, I'm going to be generous today. Here's everything I made today. People of the United States, your house payment is no more.
But I get into this conversation with people. It's not like Jeff Bezos is getting a paycheck every day for $215 million that he can go to a bank and cash.
No, he's got expenses.
He is the number of $215 million a day is
The profit
made
that he
up.
makes
It's
in.
a fairy tale. I think his net worth might go up $215 million.
Right.
Right. So it's not like he's getting a check bi-weekly. That's like, here's your $215 million, Mr. Bezos.
Have fun.
Don't spend it all in one place. And that's the argument I always get in with people where they're like, billionaires should fix this. He's worth $100 billion. Like he's worth $100 billion
Because it's all an asset.
Tesla is worth $100 billion, right?
Yeah.
He has the stock. He doesn't have $100 billion sitting in his Gate City checking account. Like you know what I mean?
Well,
He probably does.
No,
Why not?
$100 billion in a bank account.
no, only $250,000 max.
That's what they'll insure.
Right.
You
That's
can
what.
have
So,
more
like,
than
if
that.
you have that much money, you might as well have 86 bank accounts, and so
Yeah,
if
but-
that bank goes under, you're not out $100 billion.
But Elon Musk being worth $100 billion, he does not have $100 billion liquid.
No, he's probably got a lot liquid. I don't know,
He
but
might have
a couple million.
$50 million
Yeah.
cash. Who knows, right? But he doesn't have $100 billion in his Wells Fargo account. Like he has, it's all in most of these billionaires, it's all in stock, right?
Right.
So Bezos is worth $118 billion. It's because he has enough stock of Amazon that's worth that. And it's not like he can liquidate that, because if he starts to sell off $118 billion because he wants more cash, the company's going to go under. People are going to be like, why is Jeff Bezos selling off $50 billion worth of stock?
Maybe
Yeah.
he wants to go on vacation.
I think he could do that.
He still
What he
gets a
has
hefty
liquid.
paycheck.
I doubt it. I guarantee his paycheck is like $40,000 a year.
40,000.
Yeah, that way he doesn't get bumped
Well,
up in the
where's
next
his-
tax bracket.
What about his house? Their mansion.
But here's the thing. Here's what they do. Billionaires, and not even billionaires, millionaires too. What they do is, let's say they have $1 million company. Instead of taking, $700,000 in a salary, they take $40,000 salary, and then They
give
get
themselves
paid
a bonus.
an owner's distribution, it's called. So that's
Which is a bonus?
basically, it's a bonus. But you have to have that basis. If you were to replace your job, if I was to, if Jeff Bezos had to replace himself with another person, he has to pay himself a salary that would be able to sustain that life. So maybe he has to, if he was to quit, he has to pay someone. He can pay someone $50,000 to do his job. Is that legit? Probably not. You're running Amazon, right? But maybe it's $150,000. So then anything out of that, maybe he pays himself $25 million in owner's distributions in quarter one. He doesn't have to pay the same taxes as he does on that $40,000. So that's how, when people are always like, billionaires don't pay their fair share of taxes, they're doing a lot of end around weird shit like that.
The loopholes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So his salary, and I wonder if we can actually Google what his salary is.
I'll do it. You're on notes, pal.
Yeah.
I got it.
Just because I guarantee it's not very much money. Even I do that, like at the very smallest form with Bennett Creative Media. That's what I do for myself. Pay myself a very minimal amount, just my basis of what you would need to pay to cover expenses, whatever. And then the other
$88,000.
Yeah, yearly salary, $88,000. But he's worth $118 billion. So that's where people are like, why doesn't he solve the homelessness? Because he doesn't have $500 million in his bank account. He can't just write a check for this. You know what I mean? There are obviously some ways they could help out for sure. But
he's got assets that are worth that much.
And he's still liquid enough to, all the billionaires are liquid enough to buy whatever they want, whenever they want. Right? Like if he wants to go buy a $10 million plane, he can. It's not like he doesn't have $10 million in his bank account. It's not like he has $300,000. He's like, oh shit, what am I going to do?
Got to save.
He doesn't have $100 billion.
He has a way to get what he needs liquid, or yeah.
But it's not, and you can borrow money against your assets. So he can go to the bank and say, give me a $50 million loan. And if I tried to do that, they'd be like, why would I do that? But he can say, because I'm worth $118 billion. Here's what I own in Amazon stock. I'm like, okay, you're good for it. Whereas me, they'd be like, what collateral do we have? Right? You got a $200,000 house and a leased truck.
and a van.
And a van. It's not going to quite cut it.
You got a cool Miller Lite glass I saw in your dishwasher. That's got to be worth something.
Yep. It's probably worth $3 to $4.
I'll give you $5 for it.
Yeah. So yeah, that's when I hate when I don't think people realize how much a billion is compared to a million.
It's a million millions.
So here's a cool stat. 1 million seconds is 11 days. What do you think 1 billion seconds is?
I know the answer, so I'll let Liam.
Like 20 some years.
32 years. A billion seconds.
Yeah, that's.
So it's like you going from $1 million to $1 billion. It's absurd.
Yeah.
People don't comprehend how much $1 billion is.
It's a large number to wrap your brain around.
Yeah. They don't have $1 billion in their bank account. No possible way on earth.
Do you have Mr. Beast on there?
No.
That makes me curious because he
I don't know if he's a billionaire though.
Yeah, I know. That's kind of what I'm wondering because he does all these big extravagant things, but he doesn't have like any money to his name.
Yeah.
It's all his brand.
And I think he pays himself a little bit more now just for security reasons. He said, I listened to a podcast.
Yeah. Where he was living in a house for a while, and I think like it was some sketchy stuff going on.
Yeah.
He goes, okay,
He's like, yeah, so he moved into like a gated community where there's, people can't just go break into Mr. Beast's house.
Yeah.
But yeah, he pays himself a little amount. I think he still drives. Oh, he drives a Tesla now, I think. But yeah, he lives very frugal.
Yeah.
And just gives away a shit ton of money, which wouldn't be bad. My favorite thing, I love when people are like, I wouldn't tell you if I won $1 billion, but there would be signs.
There's signs.
Yeah. There'd definitely be some signs for me too. What would be your signs?
I would not be in North Dakota for a long time.
Yeah.
You would see me golfing somewhere new every week on my Snapchat story.
Would you stop hang drying your underwear? And we're like, what's going on?
New pair of socks every day.
Yeah.
Brand new pair. And then just donate. At the end of the day, I just have a donate basket.
Yeah.
And every week or every month, take it somewhere.
Like I'm take it away and deliver you new. It's like Stitch Fix for socks.
Pretty much.
What would be your signs, Broden?
I'd buy the brown eggs instead of the white ones.
Yeah.
That's moving up in the world.
Yeah.
Organic.
I'd move out in the country and I would have a little farm. I could have my own chicken coop, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Your own little driving range.
I'd be, just kind of be like
Yeah.
out on my own. Like I have enough money here. I can just live on my own, be away, like drive
Go
back into town
backwards
whenever I
in
want
time.
to.
Just immediately start living like, what do they call it? Like off the grid, kind of.
Yeah.
I'd start buying ribeyes at the marketplace instead of the sirloins.
See?
There you go.
You know, like $41.
Hello Fresh would be back here.
But the $17 one is winking at me. Oh, yeah.
Don't mind
I'd have a
if I do.
chef. I wouldn't be cooking anymore.
That too. I'd like to have a chef.
I saw this thing that is rich people. One thing we don't comprehend is rich people buying back their time. So if their time is worth, let's say Jeff Bezos, if I was to have a meeting with him, his time is worth $5,000 an hour, right? If I was to meet with him. Well, what are the hours that he's spending doing something? If he does an hour on laundry, it's worth $5,000. So if he can pay someone $100 a week to do his laundry, he's making $4,900.
Yeah.
That's why, cooking, how much time does that save? If you cook for 15 hours a week and you can buy that time back, you can really make more money. That's why the rich people don't do shit like that. And it sucks. Who wants to do laundry?
Not me.
Yeah.
That's why he's not washing his socks. He's just buying new clothes every day.
Exactly.
See?
What would be the first
Smart.
thing you bought back? Like those mundane activities. They'd be like, get this off of my plate.
Oh. I mean,
Pay somebody to go to work for me. There's 10 hours a day.
I
Fucking
don't think
I don't think you're
you'd
working
have to
anymore.
work anymore. Yeah,
Yeah.
you don't have a job. Go do this job for me. How about that person just goes?
Well,
does
then
that
it's a
job.
little passive income.
Yeah.
Yeah. What?
But then you pay that person less than they would.
The
be paying
paycheck is still coming to me. And let's just say I make $40 an hour.
you. Yep.
I pay him $30 an hour.
But what if he finds out that job, he could just go get that job?
The thing that he's doing, he gets a $10 raise.
Yeah. He's
By
like, why
not
do I
doing
have,
it
a,
for
why do I
you.
have a middleman here?
I don't let him ever figure it out.
Yeah. Kidnap him.
Once they do, new guy.
I pay a guy that $10 an hour to make sure he doesn't figure it
I'm
out.
breaking even just to fuck with these two guys.
Yeah.
I'd say, the big three would be laundry, cooking, and cleaning the house.
hmm
Yeah.
And that's really it. Other than for chores and stuff, that's it.
I personally, I enjoy cooking, like
Me
cooking
too.
a nice meal. But
It wouldn't be all the time. I'd tell my chef, like, hey, tonight, go out and hang out with your kids. Like, I'll take it from here tonight.
Yeah.
And I'd make a steak that tastes much worse than the one that he was going to make me, but at least I tried.
Yeah. See, that's the thing. I like cooking too, but do I like it enough to be like, oh, I want to do this tonight? Because you know how nice it is when you're just sitting there hanging out and then, hey, food's ready. Brings me back to my childhood, right?
right.
Downstairs playing video games. You get a text from your mom, come eat. Nothing better than that.
Yeah.
Now just the adult version of that. You have your own chef
Sounds nice.
or a wife.
Would you guys
Or a
move
boyfriend. Pretty much what I do with mine.
Yeah.
Would you
All right.
guys move your permanent residency away from here, or would you stay here?
Away from this neighborhood.
No, I mean away from
North Dakota.
Minot, or even North Dakota.
Um,
I'd have two. I'd have a house here on a nice little spot of land somewhere where I can just do whatever I want. And then once the winter hits and I don't feel like being cold, I'd have another house
You'd snowbird it.
warmer. Yeah.
yeah, I'd have one in a crazy place.
I'm thinking like Texas.
I'm thinking like Germany.
Texas would be a good one.
Yeah.
I want
Germany.
one in like a weird place.
Bosnia and Herzegovina.
Herzegovina. I'd love that. Yeah. If I could get over to like Nambia, just throw up a giant house in the middle of the desert.
Oh man, just like right next to some mud huts,
Yeah.
the clickers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Clickers.
I'd do that, but I wouldn't go there very often.
Right. Just have it
Yeah.
there.
Where would your vacation houses be? Did you know, I don't know if I told this when we were on the update episode about the skiing, but apparently at Big Sky, there's a ton of people, like well-known celebrities that have houses in Big Sky in this little secluded neighborhood. Was I talking about that or no?
I don't
No,
think
I
so.
don't think-
Not with us. So it's just like Post Malone and
Michael Jordan has a place there. Yeah.
In Big Sky.
Yeah. And it's this gated neighborhood, Big Sky, right in Bozeman, Montana.
Yeah.
And they have their own like ski slopes. You can go skiing there. And apparently it's like $50,000 a year to have a house in this community. And then the skiing is free. And the weirdest thing ever, because I was talking to a guy that he lives there and he was doing some phone communication stuff in this neighborhood. So they got to go in there. And they went skiing. They somehow got skiing on this private celebrity ski slope. And as you go down, have you guys ever been skiing before?
No.
So they have like little lodges. Like you can go into this lodge and get a sandwich and a beer. Over here, there's another one. You get a little something. And as you go down the hill, they have these huts that's just full of candy. So you go in there, get whatever candy you want, and then leave. You don't have to pay.
Nobody in there?
I don't know. I didn't ask.
Huh.
But apparently just go in there. You don't
didn't
pay.
stop?
They ask. I didn't stop.
Yeah.
I wasn't on that ski slope.
Oh.
I'm hearing this story from a guy that we were at his house when we were in Bozeman. And he was telling the story. And yeah, they just have candy huts. You don't pay for it. He obviously didn't have a property there. So he's like, how do I pay for it? And they're like, well, what's your account? He's like, I don't have an account. They're like, okay, you're good. And just let him leave. But like, how weird of a thing? Just a candy hut?
Yeah.
Why candy?
It makes sense.
Michael Jordan really likes Baby Ruths or something.
Yes.
Candy's good. I mean, biologically, sugar is like the first thing that you burn off when you're doing physical activity. That's why like Gatorades are like good for you whenever you're playing sports. They're like, they have a bunch of sugar in them.
Yeah. But I'm thinking like the normal ski slope. You go there, maybe you have a little panini sandwich, a White Claw.
Dude, that sounds nice too.
That's what I'd think the huts are. But it's like, no, it's just candy. Go in there, you get Snickers, you get some Reese's.
Every candy you could want.
Yeah. So it was really weird. We were going to go there for lunch and then we didn't go there. You can go in that area and just kind of check it out, but didn't do it. All right, let's see where we're at here. Net worth with liquidity. We talked about that a little bit. During the pandemic, billionaires got $565 billion richer. It's kind of crazy. Now, do you think that's just the general exponential growth that it was going on, or do you think it's
No, it definitely something was sparked during the pandemic. I mean, TikTok got insanely popular. Netflix probably went way up in net worth. Tesla did, like all this online stuff. Amazon went.
Yeah,
Jeff Bezos went way up. During
I could
the
imagine
pandemic.
Amazon. Do you think most of that profit came from people losing their jobs during the pandemic, where there's so many people that they could let go that they started profiting more?
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, Amazon, I get. Like,
Amazon
you
makes
can't go
sense
out and
because
do
you're
stuff.
ordering
Yeah,
everything you need. You just order it.
yeah.
But yeah, I guess I don't know. You mean their expenses? They're cutting their expenses.
Yeah, pretty much.
Probably. That kind of makes sense.
I can't imagine anything because like Amazon is the only one that really like makes sense.
Yeah. Unless they're some, entertainment stuff. Netflix.
Yeah, like that. I get
See
too.
Netflix. Sports. I guess they were streaming it, but they probably lost a lot on ticket sales. MLB.
Yeah, tons.
Yeah. I'm not sure. Very interesting.
Good
Very
question.
interesting. The Giving Pledge. You guys know what the Giving Pledge is?
Never heard of it.
Giving Pledge, initiated by Warren Buffett and Bill Gates, where billionaires pledge to give away the majority of their wealth to solve global problems. I don't know how well they're doing.
Yeah, I was gonna say they must
A lot
not
of
be
people take
pledging too hard.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no one's rushing.
Because it would be homelessness. It would be hunger, water stuff overseas.
Water stuff.
And here, don't forget about
Yeah.
Flint, Michigan.
Yep. Flint's got some issues. Climate change, I guess. What else?
What are
would
you
there
gonna?
be?
Yeah, what are you gonna give money to fight the natural cycle of the earth?
Yeah.
Raise awareness.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there we go. That's what we needed.
We need to raise
Awareness.
awareness. We need to stop putting greenhouse gases into the atmosphere.
Yeah. Drive around.
Yeah. Stop driving around. They just pick us up. They take all their money to get really strong so they could throw people everywhere and then have another guy that catches them when you get there.
A bunch of cannons and nets
Yeah.
everywhere. If I could take a cannon
Stopping
to work,
global warming.
yeah, land in a net.
Cannons are crazy.
Yeah, they are.
They're just sticking a giant heavy ball into a heavier tube.
We're just going to launch
Just
it.
Launch it, yeah.
Yeah.
The inventions of cannons.
Especially on ships.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
Imagine getting hit like in the knee with a cannonball. Like
Oh,
not
God.
somewhere like not the
Disintegrate.
chest or the head,
Yeah.
but just the
your
knee.
just explodes into a million pieces.
Did you ever see that old famous picture where it was back in like an old war? Someone was wearing like a silver plate of armor around his chest and he got hit by a cannonball. Cannonball size hole right here
Through his chest.
through his chest. And he lived. I'm
Really?
just kidding. I made that up.
Like, how?
I have no idea. But it's like, it's in a museum. Like they found this armor.
This?
Yeah, that's the one.
Oh, gosh.
That is gnarly.
I suppose they were coming in hot.
Cannonballs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're heavy.
Heavy as shit.
What are they made of?
We'll figure it out. Brass, maybe. I don't know.
It's brass.
Animosity?
It's brass because that's there's an old saying that says it's cold enough to freeze the balls off a brass monkey. So back in the war times, a brass monkey was the carrier that would like you would stack cannonballs on, and the cannonballs were made of metal that once it got cold enough, they would shrink and they would fall through the holes that were holding them.
iron.
So that's where the saying came from. Freeze the balls off a brass
Really?
monkey. Yeah.
That's what a brass monkey is, a cannonball holder carriage?
Yeah.
Pull up a picture of a brass monkey.
I'm seeing iron. They're made out of iron.
That's the saying, dude. I don't know. Look it up.
Are brass and iron the same?
I want to say
It's a brass monkey,
is-
so maybe the monkey was made out of brass. I don't fucking know.
Isn't there a song about a brass monkey?
Yeah, by the Beastie Boys. That's the first thing that
Brass
popped.
monkey. Yeah. Okay. I'd
Okay,
like to
no,
see-
you're cold enough to freeze the balls off a brass monkey is a colloquial expression used by English speakers to describe extremely cold weather.
Okay.
Can you go to the origin of the saying? I mean, I said it, but
Do we still use cannons? Or
for fun
we're
stuff.
done with those?
No, people
Reenactments?
like no
Harpers?
people make like golf ball cannons. Shoot a golf ball out of it.
This one says brass monkey. The saying comes from common tourist souvenirs in China and Japan.
It's not true.
A cannonball, what is it called? Oh, cannon is what it's called, is the thing that shoots cannonball. A cannon can't be that hard, like engineering wise, to make.
Big metal tube.
And
It
then you
was
put the ball in,
revolutionary,
and then
though.
it just gunpowder in the back of it.
That's it.
Yeah, light a fuse and
Yeah. Can't imagine being in war and just cannonballs flying at me.
Everywhere. Ships.
I think they could have came up with a better name for cannonball.
Cannon. Ball.
Yeah.
Cannonball.
Let's call it cannonball. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a ball that goes in the cannon. What do you do, I guess? What do you do? People in the Giving Pledge: Elon Musk, Mark Zuckerberg, Richard Branson, Larry Ellison. There's no actual contract. They just verbally agreed to do this.
Just a scout's honor.
Yeah. Scout's honor. Billionaires in the media: Oprah Winfrey, first black woman billionaire in history. Didn't she have the whole thing about how she was responsible for Hawaii just getting annihilated?
It's kind of rumored because all of Hawaii burned except the rich neighborhoods.
Yeah.
Weird.
There's something about blue roofs. Roofs.
Roofs.
Did you guys see that?
Mm-mm.
There's a certain shade of blue. It was on all these celebrities' houses, their roofs. And for some reason, it didn't burn. And there was certain, like some cars that were in the areas that actually did burn, perfectly intact. So like there's this weird shade of blue. Look that up, Broden. See if you can find that. Because they were talking about like some sort of thing up in the sky that was like shooting lasers down to like burn things. I know that's getting pretty
It's a little
into
out
the
there.
weeds, into the conspiracies.
oh, here's what
That's,
it is.
That's some foil hat stuff. There.
Yeah.
These blue items survived in the Maui wildfires, and lasers do not impact on blue colored things, suggesting that the island was actually hit by a direct energy weapon.
Yeah. So did you
Project Bluebeam is what the
Did you see? Was there any pictures of like the blue stuff that wasn't touched? It's kind of cool looking. Project Bluebeam. I'd like to name something like that. The Manhattan Project. Project Bluebeam.
We could do it.
I want to name something that has some significance.
We could do Project Backyard, and we could do some crazy shit in your backyard.
Doesn't have the ring to it, though.
The Backyard Project.
That has more ring to it, you know?
Now we're gaining
what's
traction.
the Backyard Project? That seems like some stuff that's flying under the radar.
Classified.
Yeah, can't tell you.
Wish we could tell you, but if you come over this weekend, we'll show you.
Just come to my backyard. We'll get it done.
Yeah.
You looking that up, Broden, or no?
It's hard to find.
Okay.
Of course it is.
So classified. It's Backyard Project. Mark Zuckerberg, youngest self-made billionaire, age 23. That's when he became a billionaire. You imagine being 23 and a billionaire?
You'd have to be pretty grounded, or else you're gonna just blow it all.
Yeah. I don't know if I would be. I'm trying to think 2 years ago what I was like, and then give me $1 billion.
I would have. That would not have panned well. 2 years ago for me, that I would have been much better off. If you stretch it to like 6,
Doing some bad stuff.
would have been I would have been just splurging.
2 years ago, I would have definitely splurged for sure. I would right now as well.
Splurge a little bit.
I would right now, but it's more responsible splurge.
Yeah.
Like I'd buy a bunch of property and I would have generational wealth.
I would spend money just to spite people. Like if someone got on my bad side, I'd buy the shit they own. Just to, you know, like I'd buy, you know, if someone was really like the owner of a restaurant, if they really wronged me.
Like if Marketplace did you over.
Yeah. Or Marketplace. Maybe one of the baggers hosed me and I bought Marketplace just to fire that person.
Yeah. I do that to Louis Ongpin Travels.
Yeah. I'd buy his Instagram name.
I would cease his traveling.
I would go to his house and not like on his property line, but I'd put up a giant barricade around his house.
Can't leave.
Yeah. Just like I'd buy every house in that neighborhood. How would I do that? How would I fuck with him?
We'd have to track him down.
Yeah, we'd catch him.
Yeah.
Whatever
it's
job
probably
he
in
works
Seattle.
at, we go buy that company. Ceases traveling is a good one.
Yeah.
How do you do
Louis
that?
Ongpin stationary now. You have to change your hand.
Oh yeah, it was Louis Ongpin Travels. That's what it
Yeah.
was. Yeah. I would do it'd be fun. I'd do some good stuff with it too, though. I think.
Hire a guy to walk behind him with the tuba, so every time he walks, or like,
I wonder if you can do that. At what point are you like
Probably get
infringing on
arrested for
people's
harassment
rights
or something like
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
How far can you go? How can you do that?
couple blocks at least.
Depends on, I don't know. It depends on how soon you get caught or something. Like if you did it like just every once in a while.
Right. You can't just not day and night 24/7.
I can't take it anymore.
You got to take a pee or what?
Yeah.
Got to take a pee. Careful on the door. Yeah, because I think at what point does it get to a restraining order where you should?
Then you just hire a different guy. Once that guy gets his.
But is it a restraining order issue or is it like, why do this whole group of people keep messing with me?
You shouldn't have shit
that's
talked us.
That's a good idea if you could get just endless amounts of people to do it. And
I'm sure
be
if you
willing
just
to
said-
get a restraining order.
Yeah, I'm sure if you just said, I'm going to give you $1,000 right now to just follow this guy around for the day with a trombone or tuba, whatever it is.
Yeah.
People would, how many homeless guys could play? It'd be like bum fights, but
You
bum
can't hire
music.
the homeless guys because they might fight them. Honestly, what do we care?
We didn't pay him to fight.
Yeah,
You
he
can't.
just-
I gave him cash. You can't prove that I paid him at all.
Yeah, it's true. No
There's
paper
ways
trail.
around this.
No paper trail. You could definitely mess with somebody's life for sure with $1 billion.
Yeah. I think, you could have a lot of fun doing it too. Because also you have $1 billion, so you're pretty happy.
You almost need that list like they have on Billy Madison where he writes his name.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, thank God I called that guy. That'd be good. Okay. Steve Jobs and Bill Gates, very infamous rivalry in the 70s. You familiar with that at all?
Yeah, Apple and Microsoft.
Yep. Apple and Microsoft were both developing the early computers. 1984, Apple released the Macintosh, which had a graphical user interface and a mouse. Microsoft then followed with the Windows in 85, which also had that. And then Apple accused Microsoft of copying Macintosh's look and feel, leading to legal disputes between the two companies.
Do you think Bill Gates had Steve Jobs killed?
Yeah, Steve Jobs is dead, isn't he? How did he die?
I want to say they said it was like cancer.
Directed energy weapon?
Yeah, he wasn't. He should have went Blue Man Group, I guess. Just painted himself blue.
Invincible.
That would be good.
That's what we're going to have to start doing.
Yeah, I'm not sure how Steve Jobs was. There's an interesting story. There's a cool documentary on Netflix about, I think it's called Jobs. It's a documentary on Steve Jobs starting Apple. It's really good. You should watch it. Because he leaves the company and then he comes back. Ashton Kutcher plays him, I want to say.
Speaking of scandals, how about Walt Disney going to the edge of the world?
What do you mean?
In Antarctica or somewhere. Basically where we can't go. There's like there's a project name for it. And he went there, and so now there's a bunch of speculation that Disney froze himself, and that's why they created the movie Frozen, because when you looked up Walt Disney Frozen, it came up with articles about him cryogenically freezing himself. So they created a movie to direct the searches from that.
Didn't we talk about that last week or 2 weeks ago?
Kind of, but I coincidentally saw another TikTok about it where then it's like all these different connections where it's like the Walt Disney, the Disney like logo, you know how at the end it's like it's this big castle and everything like that, and then it's the star or like the loop that goes over it. But then he basically like it's on the edge of the world, and so like the top of the castle is past the edge of the world. So there's something about on Earth being able to get. I think I liked it. I'll have to find it and send it to you.
Liked it like with your thumb, hit the like button, or really liked it, enjoyed it?
No, with my thumb.
Like I really liked it.
That was
I'm
cool.
Find it.
I'm going to forget about that in 5 minutes.
Isn't that the worst?
Yeah.
When you find something like, I got to share this with somebody, and then you don't like it, and then you're scrambling for that video.
Gone forever.
It's like at the bar the other night. I think I'll put that on my credit card.
Anything non-dairy?
Yeah, and I had a moment with Broden for him to find that in his head and tell me what the video was.
Everything's archived up here.
Yep.
Oh yeah. How about when I hit you with it and you just could not believe it?
I was like, what are the odds of that? We're like the Sims. Asia has seen a rapid increase in billionaires. China leading the surge, adding hundreds over the past decade.
TikTok, man.
You know any Chinese billionaires? I don't know. We were talking
personally.
Yeah, I got a couple on speed dial.
Yeah.
I don't know. The only one I know is Jack Ma.
Jack?
Jack Ma.
No way his name's Jack.
Yeah. You know what he founded?
Samurai Jack.
No. Alibaba.
What is that even?
Is that a store?
It's like you can buy stuff on it. It's like if I was to start a company where I wanted to sell gadgets, I could go there, buy 1,000 gadgets for 6 cents per gadget, and then I can sell them for $6 a piece. So it's almost like a, what do you call it? Warehouse.
A wholesaler?
Supply. Yes, a wholesaler. It's actually exactly what I was looking for. It's right in my head. Pulled it up. So that's the only one I know. I don't know much about, I think I didn't learn very much about China or other countries.
China keeps their stuff on the down low, kind of under wraps. They're
kind of lucrative.
Right.
You know what lucrative means?
It's kind of like down low and on their apps.
No.
Lucrative means it's
money making.
Yes. Makes you a lot of money.
Yeah. So it makes sense.
I'm like, I just started doing videos. It's super lucrative. The videos make me a lot of money.
I'm not entirely wrong. In the sense that I used it, not entirely right.
Yeah. It's in a gray area for sure. No man's land. But yeah. So China keeps things under wraps, eh?
Oh yeah. They're not really.
I suppose
the Chinese
they're a
government ain't really.
dictatorship.
Yeah. It's the Communist Party or something, maybe a little bit. What are they? The People's Republic of China officially.
Is that what their name is?
Yeah.
Like on documents?
I want to say like the official name, like you go to the UN, it's the PRC, People's Republic of China.
I didn't know that.
But
his brain is nuts, dude.
Yeah.
I
like
do
the
know.
Soviet Union, but for Chinese people.
You could compare it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But China has their own version of Google.
Really?
Yeah,
they
like
don't
it's
use
Google, but they have a censored, filtered version of Google.
So people are only seeing what they want them to see.
Bingo.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Which is
Whatever they
like-
deem good.
Like their TikTok feeds, pretty much.
yeah.
It's like for kids, it's like all like beneficial,
Yeah.
like different.
Engineering,
Yeah.
accounting.
It's all science.
Yeah, you're not
Counting.
watching some
So-
chick put on makeup for 10 minutes and get ready with me for the day. You're
No
not watching that in China.
No soap cutting videos.
No.
Chinese algorithm.
No rug shit cleaner.
Yeah. Dude, those videos where they clean rugs. You weren't there last night.
No.
The videos where they clean rugs, where it looks like they pulled this rug out of a heaping pile of shit
Yeah.
and they power wash them and soap
Hit
them.
it with the.
Unreal videos. I love them.
They are satisfying.
Isn't it awesome? And then you
Yeah.
get to the end and you're like, look at that rug.
It is pretty cool.
Yeah,
Went from brown to that.
those people make tons of money making those videos.
Yeah.
Not the rug cleaning ones, but have you ever seen like a day in the life of being like a TikTok like kind of thing like that? Like you just wake up and this is a video that is like I start my day, it's probably around like 11 in the morning. I go on YouTube and I find a rug cleaning video and I clip that. And then I find an episode.
Subway Surfer.
Yeah, it's like, Subway Surfer, rug cleaning, soap cutting, like all that
Yeah.
stuff. GTA, like all the stuff, all that. And then you just go on like the most relevant podcast. Like it's like clips from like the Hodge twins. Like I'm
Yep.
getting a bunch of those. Joe Rogan, like stuff like that, different stories. And you just overlay those both. And that's your day.
Post it.
And they get whatever it was, thousands and thousands of likes. And just because of the revenue that it generates.
Just ad dollars.
Yeah.
There's gotta be some copyright infringement there.
You'd imagine.
But if they just pay you.
See, that's what I'm saying. Because I brought this up to him.
Is YouTube public domain? That's a question before you get into that, Broden. Can anyone download something on YouTube and use it for their own content?
I don't think so.
Can someone download a Three Dudes podcast and post it as their own? Or do we own that?
I think
You'd
we
like to
own
believe
it.
that we own it. We are.
I would
the
think
It's a
so,
legitimate.
too. So
like-
public domain, I can't post. Interesting. Anyways, what were you going to say?
No, so I brought this up a few weeks ago to him, and you were just talking about it earlier. But like, if we would have just did like a day in the life of working at Menards for the two of us,
Yeah.
here's what we do when we go to Menards. I think we'd be filthy rich by now because the shit we did there, man.
That would have been our like Nelk boys.
I think you
Yeah.
would have got fired. Once you
But
started getting some traction.
until we got fired, we would have already had the traction, and then we would have got fired, and then we would have applied at Home Depot
Same thing.
and did it again.
the Home Depot homies and the Menards, man, you just bounce from retail store to retail store.
pretty much.
What is it? A home goods store? It's
Home
I
goods.
don't know. No, like what would Ace
Home
Hardware be?
improvement.
A hardware store. A home improvement store would be good. Remember that show, Home Improvement?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, with Tim Allen?
Yeah. No, maybe I don't like that one. What was the one HGTV Extreme Makeover? Maybe that's what I'm thinking of.
Oh,
Stream home makeover.
Yeah.
you're not talking about the sitcom.
No. I hate Tim Allen.
What?
Why?
You never liked the Santa Claus movies, or
Not really.
damn?
I just
Alright.
don't really know where the hate comes from. That's the only problem.
I get that.
Yeah, it's like Mr. Claus.
What
or
about
whatever,
Toy
so-
Story?
I'm like that way with young Sheldon.
Yeah.
Oh my-
God, I'd kick young Sheldon as hard as I could, dude.
And you're like, why? And I'm not really that sure.
Not sure. Don't like the way he looks.
Yeah. That's a Tim Allen. I think people love Tim Allen. And I'm like, ugh, it's whatever. All right. What do we got on here? 2021 ProPublica reported that some billionaires, including Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk, paid no federal income tax in certain years. I think I'd definitely take these. If I had advantage these tax loopholes, I would too.
Yeah.
There's a reason why they haven't changed yet.
Yeah. It's because the people that are also doing laws against them are probably taking similar loopholes.
Bingo.
Do you remember that clip during the 2016 presidential debates when Trump and Clinton were debating and Hillary Clinton's like, he didn't pay taxes, blah, 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 because he used this tax loophole. And Trump's like, yeah, I did.
Because I'm smart.
Yeah. And he's like, and so do all your donors. He's like, why haven't you changed it yet? And then she didn't say anything.
Yeah. You won't change the tax code.
Surprise.
Yeah. But why would you not? If I'm in that scenario, I'm not just going to willingly be like, all right, give money to the government. Like, no, that's
what
the
I'm
rules
saying.
are in place for you to keep your money. And I always get, it's such a fine line between people arguing like capitalism's the worst thing on earth compared to we shouldn't have capital, or capitalism's the best thing on earth. Like, I don't personally think capitalism, it's not the greatest thing ever invented. I won't defend it to my dying days, but I do think it still has some good in it, right?
It's probably better than anything else. Everyone's got their own freedom of choice to do whatever they want with their own money. You have the choice to go out and make more money if you want.
Yeah.
I mean,
because the argument is, oh, they're capitalizing on unethical work. You know, they're paying their people $15 an hour and they're making millions.
right. But then the argument is, who has all the risk?
Yeah.
The owner who owns all that stuff, or the guy working there that can just go get a new job tomorrow?
Yeah. And that's where I always try to have that argument. I'm like, people are like, there should be no billionaires. I'm like, well,
why should there be?
He built the iPhone. Like,
Yeah.
can you imagine a world without it? And they're like, they're not working 70,000 times as hard as their employees are, so they shouldn't make 70,000 times as much as their money. I'm like, dude, he created the computer.
Right?
He could do whatever he wants. He could go shit on the president's face. And we'd probably be like,
Weird,
he
but
made the computer though. So like, imagine life without that.
we'll let it slide.
Yeah. Or it's like, yeah. So that's where I'm always like, yeah, $1 billion is a lot of money. You probably don't need that much money. But if you change the world that drastically, you should be entitled
There's
to
hard
a better
work
life,
that goes into
right?
that. It's not like he was just sitting around just going,
Yeah.
here's the computer, I guess.
Yeah.
Took me like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And I get some billionaires.
I'm going to go back to Wendy's now.
Yeah, right?
I think 44% of billionaires became billionaires through inheriting the money. So like the wife of a spouse or the kid, which that's like, okay, then it's just passed down generation to generation. But I think the people that, like Jeff Bezos, Amazon started by him selling books in his parents' garage.
Right.
And now it is what it is. He probably deserves the money he's made. But people are like, he is unethical, which there's probably some unethical things going on about how the breaks you get in the Amazon warehouse, you get in trouble for taking bathroom breaks and blah, blah, blah. Right. It's probably not great.
The problem is entitlement.
Yeah.
Why are you entitled to that person's money?
Yeah.
You're not. You know what I mean? That guy earned that money and that's what he makes.
Yeah.
He's just, some of us are more fortunate than others.
And if there's a happy medium between you can be a billionaire, own the company, make all this money, and also your employees are treated well, the company as well, and you just take a bigger portion of it. Like Chick-fil-A. They always say Chick-fil-A is a great place to work. Like people that work there are awesome. They pay a good wage. They don't work on Sundays. They're set in stone in their visions. And the owner of Chick-fil-A is probably terribly rich, right?
Oh, for sure.
Bad example. No one's complaining about that. Where it does get hairy is when it's like, oh, they're making their clothes out of Chinese sweatshops and this, that, the other thing. It's like, okay, yeah. But I don't know where that was going, really. But we got there.
I was talking to my coworker BS the other day, and I was like, once you hit a certain amount of money where you're, say, rich, like, it seems incredibly difficult to not be rich anymore. There's loopholes. Yeah. There's ways that you can invest with different compounding interest. I mean, real estate, everything else. Like, as long as you're taking the right measures, like, this could last you and your families forever.
Yeah. If it's the hard part is that first getting to that point of quote unquote, okay, now you're rich.
Yeah.
After that, I feel like it gets a lot easier to maintain it.
Right. Yeah. Then your money's making you money.
Yeah. It's hard to start a business that starts making $3 million a year. And then a week later, you're like, God, I screwed it up.
Yeah.
It's like, how did you do that? What racist thing did you say online? You know?
Yeah.
But, yeah, I don't know. I've never been in that scenario where it's easy to keep the wealth flowing, but maybe we'll be there one day.
Maybe.
All right. What do we got here? I don't think we got anything else. Yeah, nothing else on the notes. That is episode 78. Anything else you guys want to update us on?
I got nothing.
Really. What's going on this week? Nothing new. Oh, shout out Mason Morelli. Got called up to the Vegas Golden Knights. We'll get a good 3 dude shout out.
Huge.
It's pretty sweet. Mine out North Dakota kid playing the NHL. So shout out Mason.
He's doing it. He's living the dream. Good for you, Mace.
Yeah. That's why we're drinking Coors Light on the show. Keeping the mountains blue. He's got some Coors Light in that water bottle.
I do.
Yeah. That's episode 78. We will see you guys next week for episode 79.